I'm going to share a brief summary of some of the history of our Elim Church. Elim Lutheran Church was organized March 30th, 1899 at the Reverend Brown home, 1.5 miles east of the present church site. There was a session of prayer, and Reverend Brown read the 12th chapter of Romans and gave some remarks as to his portion of Scripture. The new Constitution was then read and adopted, and so the Elim congregation was organized as an independent Lutheran church. Those who joined as members of this meeting were as follows: Mr. and Mrs. Gilbert Olson, Mr. and Mrs. Michael Olson, Mr. and Mrs. Eric Nelson, Mr. and Mrs. Lars Svensson, Mr. and Mrs. Ole Stenowen, John Sturian, Peder Satran, Michael Bangsted, and Mrs. Sigurd Storian. Reverend Brown was chairman for this historic meeting, and Ivor Tooken was secretary. The officers elected at this first business meeting were as follows: Elders, Gilbert Olson for 1 year, Peter Satran for 2 years, and Eric Nelson for 3 years. Trustees elected were John Storian for 1 year, Ole Stenian for 2 years, Michael Olson for 3 years. Michael Bangsted was elected secretary. Reverend E.M. Brown was to serve as the first pastor. The first confirmation service was held at the Michael Olson home Easter Sunday, April 2nd, 1899. Those confirmed at this service were as follows: Ole Martin Olson, Peter Stenowen, Anna Samuelson, Christy Stenmo, Oliva Pedersen, and Bereth Marie Svensson. Now I'm going to read a few more of the first events of the Elim congregation. The first pastor, of course, was E.M. Brown, and he served from 1899 to 1903. And the first secretary, again, was Michael Bangsted. First treasurer, Michael Olson. First elder was Gilbert Olson, Peter Satran, and Eric Nelson. The first service following organization was Easter Sunday, April 2nd, 1899. And at that time there was a 10:30 service, and there was catechization of the confirmants, along with the installation of elders and trustees. And the service was led by E.M. Brown. And then at 3 o'clock in the afternoon that day they had a communion service. Well, that same year, in May 28th, was the first baptism in the Elim Church, and that was Olga Johnson, May 28th, 1899. And the first wedding was in June of that year, and that was John Ingolson and Christy Gillen, and that was in the Brown home. And the first organist for Elim Church was Matilda Olson. And the first parochial school, which went considerable length of time from May 29th to June 21st of that year. And the teacher for that parochial school was Severin Bangsted, and the number of pupils were 19 pupils at First Vacation Bible School. First recorded death was 1 year the following year, Albert S. Johnson, and that was November 13th, 1900. And he died at the age of 27 years. And in May of 1899, they had their first recorded mission meeting, and that was at the Samuelson home. And in December of 1901, they dedicated Brown's new house. And of course, that's about a half a mile east of here. There isn't anything left of that house now. First dedication of church. This church was dedicated in 1908, July 5th, 1908. And the speakers present were Brown, Simonson, Lick, Bristol, Corman, Nord, Markin, and Jacobson. And back to the first young people's meeting was held that first year in July of 1899. And I was held at 3 in the afternoon at the John A. Johnson home. And I won't go into the name of Elim because David Hagan covered that very well.